Hey everybody, it's your friend Daniel Hutchins, and today we are doing another article discussion from our friends CBR.com. But first, I just want to let you know how my day's going. So, first, I just want to let you guys know I already just had some brunch, and I'm going to be talking about some Batman, and I'm going to be talking about some other stuff too. So to start things out, we're talking about Batman the White Knight. Creator Sean Murphy teases a new installment. So, the comic book writer and artist we know as Sean Murphy has teased the new installment of his Batman Murphy verse is the way to a cryptic social media post. This was from 2 days ago, guys. So, the world of Batman White Knight may be expanding after the creator Sean Murphy has teased the new installment for a series. Created by Murphy, the original White Knight series, first released in late 2017, it consisted of 8 issues. Before his universe expanded with a subsequent series, then two spin off titles. According to the writer himself, in a now deleted Twitter post, DC executives informally refer to the world that the writer and artist has built the Murphyverse. Recently, the artist posted a single panel from art on Twitter, cryptic file name to accompany it. The caption reads, "There's a big announcement for DC coming soon." But here's a sneak peek. So, related to this article is Batman White Knight. Harley Quinn has just been part of a heartbreaking death, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about someone else. So, you can follow this person on Twitter named Sean Murphy's Art Sales. There's a big DC announcement coming soon. Here's a sneak peek. Sorry I'm late put in. So this was posted on the 4th of December on Twitter. You can check out that tweet on your own time though. So aside from revealing that Murphy took the screenshot while at a strong level of battery life at the 4G service, the panel has featured a woman wearing a spiked leather jacket with a Batman t-shirt and pink highlights, and the file name shows begins with BMBTWK, with WK feasibly meaning the White Knight. The main character shown here could also be noted that it has a connection to Marion Drews, aka the Neo Joker. So, in White Knight universe, there are two Harley Quinns that served on Joker's side. During the criminal exploits of old, the first Dr. Harley and Quinzel is similar to the classic version everyone knows and loves, the psychiatrist that turned Joker's partner in crime. Again, after Joker attacked the second Robin, Jason Todd, this Harley's left and filled another void with Marion Drews, who would later become the Neo Joker after the original, now going by Jack, became sane again. Okay, so relate this article, Batman How White Knight Sets Up Harley Quinn for the sequel. We're not talking about that, we're talking about someone else. So in the panels of the characters shown from the similar hair types of Drew, it has also been said that the word puddin', Harley Quinn's iconic term to refer to the Joker when they were together. Whoever the character is, it's clear to the readers that they have taken the opportunity to dive in the world. They can expect more in the future. The artist has even implemented rules for his universe so new readers can easily jump in. So it's now a deleted tweet, but Murphy specified his universe will remain simple with no complicated tie ins or other story sets or series or events. So you can hop on in whenever you read, comics or not. But again, other promises include that no characters will return from the grave ever, but also that every book will come out on time. Lately, with the pandemic, the comic book industry has been seeing significant delays, affecting the series like Action Comics, Wonder Girl, Teen Titans Academy, and the latest Halloween issue, coming out days after Thanksgiving from a result. So the Murphyverse currently consists of Batman the White Knight, Batman Curse of the White Knight, Batman White Knight presents Harley Quinn and Batman, and White Knight presents Von Freeze. While the original series of The Curse of the White Knight have made their way onto DC Universe Infinite for their entirety. The rest are available via digital retailers as your back issues at your local comic book store. Okay, so now we're talking about X-Men. Yes, X-Men. I know it's been a while since we talked about X-Men, but we're talking about X-Men again. So Marvel's X-Men title lineup has undergone a massive shift during the post-Inferno. So Marvel announced a new direction of the X-Men titles following that of Inferno, as the second Cocoon Age debuts with X-Men with Destiny of X. This is 14 hours ago, guys. So with impending departure of Jonathan Hickman, the original architect of the so-called Cocoon Age of X-Men, fans have been wondering what will happen after the close of Hickman's Inferno miniseries. And Marvel's now revealed the next stage to be the Destiny of X, or the second Cocoon Age. Marvel shared to the news in the press release, which also explained the next phase will launch out of both Hickman's Inferno and Benjamin Percy's upcoming X Lives of Wolverine, X Deaths of Wolverine, the time travel series. And it will additionally reported that Destiny of X will tie into the recent Choose Your Destiny promotional pieces that are released by Marvel, suggesting the future might truly not be right for the X-Men. Okay, so latest article, the Dark X-Men reality proved beyond Omega level mutants, but isn't that possible? We're not talking about that, we're talking about someone else. So Destiny of X, it has Immortal X-Men, Marauders, X-Force, Knights of X, X-Men, Legion of X, Wolverine, New Mutants, and X-Men Red. Okay, the journey of Cocoon Age is far from over. Senior editor Jordan D. writes, quoted, and saying in the release, our long-term plan for all creators here at Marvel are working on our secret council chamber has only just begun to come to fruition. With the filling of 2 empty council seats, the reign of X is ended. It's time for mutant kind to reach for their destiny. Relate to this article why Marvel's Inhumans failure actually works in X-Men favor. We're not talking about that, we're talking about someone else. So now, the new Destiny of X promotional artwork by Lanil, Francis Yu, and Sunny Go have revealed the handful of titles that have launched as part of the new initiative. These titles include the Immortal X-Men, Knights of X, Legion of X, and Return of X-Men Red. Additional to this, Marvel's confirmed the X-Men, X-Force, and New Mutants titles as a dramatic status quo shift moving forward. Now, the creative team will see the Marauders into the second Cocoon Age. It is unclear at this time who the creative teams will be for these new announced books. But again, while Marvel teased a general spring 2022 release for the Destiny of X promotional artwork, it is not totally clear or in the air yet as when the new line wide era shift will launch. Again, in the meantime, fans can look forward to the release of Inferno number 4, which is supposed to hit shelves on January the 5th of 2022. X Lives of Wolverine and X Deaths of Wolverine are supposed to be coming out on January the 5th of 2022 and on January 12th, 2022, respectively. Okay, so again, let me know what your guys' thoughts about that is. I really, really want to know what your guys' thoughts are. Okay, so now there is something else I want to explore. Who are Marvel's new multiversial anti-Avengers, and what can they do? So now the Avengers number 50 has introduced a team of anti-Avengers who are preparing to wage a multiverse war against the Earth's mightiest heroes. Okay, this is 3 days ago. So warning, there are spoilers for Avengers number 50 on sale now from Marvel Comics. Villains have teamed up to take on the Avengers, and it's nothing new for the Earth's mightiest heroes. But their new adversaries might prove to be their downfall. Created by the fussin' aspects of different heroes and villains, each of the members of the new Masters of Evil or one of the more powerful characters of the Marvel multiverse. This new group of villains has been massacring different versions of Avengers across space and time, and they have defeated all of them except for Avengers from Earth 616. So, the Avengers number 50 by Jason Aaron and others has revealed how this team's biggest threat was born from contract between Mephisto and Doom Supreme. After watching Avengers and 1 million BC defeat Kid Thanos, Doom Supreme was approaching disguised Mephisto, the devil described as he's seen in Avengers, defeat every villain they faced. Having attempted to defeat them himself, the Lord of Hell has proposed they build a team of superpowered beings of their own, who can rid the world of the Avengers once and for all. So Doom Supreme agreed with Mephisto's proposition and has scowled all over the multiverse for his hand-picked multiversial Masters of Evil. Related to this article is how Marvel's strongest Avenger got destroyed by MCU's best fighter. We're not talking about that, we're talking about someone else. Also, on a side note, guys, I have to plug my computer back in, or else my video is gonna die. So, I gotta plug my computer in. So, I am here, I just have to plug my computer back in. Okay, so I'm sorry guys, I'm just trying to recover myself. Okay, so Doom Supreme is a version of Doctor Doom who's ascended the rank of Sorcerer Supreme and is typically held by Doctor Strange. Interestingly, the villain has called himself Doom Above All, hinting that he's possibly defeated the One Above All. He might be similar to Power Level, and the Dark Phoenix hides her true identity behind a shining gold mask and a dark robe that's been given her name. She clearly has the abilities of corrupt Phoenix Force. She travels with a pet berserker, a feral Wolverine with adamantium jutting out his arms and a chain leash around his neck. He bears a striking resemblance to the Hounds from the classic X-Men story Days of Future Past. Kid Thanos is the first member seen at the start of the issue. He's a young version of Thanos who was plucked from his timeline before he became the Mad Titan, similar to that of Kang the Conqueror as he travels through time. The young Thanos travels from the multiverse with armies of robots, a hoverboard, and a giant gun looking to kill every living being. Okay, so if you think that's not crazy, there's more, guys. So wearing red armor similar to Destroyer, carrying vibranium-tipped spears, King Killmonger, yes, King Killmonger, managed to conquer both Asgard and Wakanda. Given he's defeated two of the most advanced civilizations on Earth, he likely had a wild combination of technology at his disposal. Norman Osborne, the Ghost Goblin, is a synthesis of the Green Goblin and Robbie Rey's Ghost Rider. Instead of using the Goblin's typical exploding pumpkins, he carries a bag filled with flaming skulls of all the Ghost Riders he has killed. Joanne Smith, the Black Skull, fuses the Red Skull, Venom symbiote, and he comes from the Counter-Earth of Heroes Reborn. Again, related to this article, forget Kid Loki and Baby Yoki. Now, forget Kid Loki and Baby Yoda. Marvel's Kid Thanos wants to kill every last Avenger. Again, related to this article, forget Kid Loki and Baby Yoda. Marvel's Kid Thanos wants to kill every last Avenger. But we're not talking about that, we're talking about someone else. Okay. So, as crazy as this may sound, it is real. So, let's just keep going. So, first debuted in Feud Comic Book Day 2021, Avengers Hulk #1. The Masters of Evil have destroyed countless universes by traveling to the past to each respective universe and causing some temporal delays and cataclysms that transformed them to barren wastelands. They were systematically killing universes with deathlocks and have came to defend them only until one remained. But the end of Avengers number 50 was so weird to the fact that it was revealed that seemingly managed to destroy every version of Avenger except for the ones on Earth 616. They teleported the Avengers Mountain to finish their massacres, but the Masters of Evil have already proven they're powerful enough to defeat Earthrise heroes, and it's only a matter of time till this confrontation will end any differently. Again, let me know about your thoughts about that because I think it's pretty freaking crazy that now there's this new multiversial villain team called the Anti-Avengers who are going around killing off the multiverse heroes. Again, let me know what your guys' thoughts about that is. I think it's really weird. But again, I just thought I'd just share that to you because it's now tied in with the Avengers books that are being written to this very day. So again, Marvel's new multiversial anti-Avengers and what they do. Again, let me know what you guys' thoughts about that is. I really want to know. Again, I thought it was kind of weird, so I wanted to share it to you guys. So again, please let me know. Again, I'm just trying to entertain y'all with some good information. Okay, so now we are talking about Green Lantern. Yes, we're talking about Green Lantern. Green Lantern has reinvented a long dead Jack Kirby character. So, DC's Green Lantern number 9 has revealed the new role of a decade dead character originating from the Jack Kirby Fourth World. What? Yes, what? It's true. They have reinvented a long dead character from Jack Kirby, and this was from a day ago. So, this next issue of Green Lantern has established a new role of relatively obscure characters from the curator we know as Jack Kirby, a character who's been dead for over 30 years. So, the writing by Jeffrey Thorne and penciled by Marco Santucci and Tom Rainey. So, Green Lantern number 9 is set to hit comic book stores on the 7th, which is today, with trillions of lives on the line. The wingless John Stewart has battled the Mad God from the future state of the universe. The issue's official synopsis read, "Meanwhile, they solve the mystery of the Green Lantern Corps. The battery destruction and the new ancient enemies arise." Related to this article, DC teases Green Lantern John Stewart godlike new power. We're not talking about him, we're talking about someone else. So an official preview of Green Lantern number 9, previewed by DC and provided by DC. John Stewart comes face to face with none other than his enemy, who declares himself the Harbinger of the Lightbringer. I am of the new Genesis, the student of Isaiah and Metron, he says. I have folded eons to build my crucibles, and I will save this cosmos, but I am not the Lightbringer. So again, this is kind of interesting. But again, Green Lantern number 9 is really, really weird. Again, so, with trillions of lives on the line, the ringless John Stewart battles the Mad God from the future state of multiverse and the universe. Meanwhile, though, they solve the mystery of the Green Lantern Corps battery destructions, and the new and ancient enemies arise. At the end of the Green Lantern, is this the end of the Green Lantern Corps, or will they lead to a new beginning of resurrections from cosmic heroes? Again, the book is on sale today. You can pick it up at your comic book store. It's actually $5 US money. You can pick up Green Lantern number 9, and it's really, really, really weird. Again, I just try to explain it to you guys in some words that I found from an article here. So again, the villain's name is Isak. So Isak has first appeared in 1971's New Gods, number 4. which was written and illustrated by Kirby himself. Again, Isaac was one of the great young minds of New Genesis, though he defected to Apocalypse after an accident left him deformed. Isaac was ultimately killed by Orion in the Kirby's The Hunger Dogs, which published in 1985 DC graphic novel number 4. Again, the character's scarcely been seen from pages of DC Comics since his meeting back in 1985. Again, the only real exception being Orion number 5 in 2000 and in Superman 663 in 2007. The character that they brought back is called Isaac. Yes, Isaac. That's his real name, Isaac. Again, he first appeared in 1971 New Guys number 4 by Jack Kirby himself. Again, let me know what you guys' thoughts about that is, and it's already on sale right now at your comic book store. So, again, I just thought it'd be interesting to talk about some new stuff here on this article discussion. So, we are going to be talking about one more article that's interesting, and then we'll wrap this up. Because I might just be taking a break. So, I'm just saying. Okay. So, we want to go. Do you know where we want to go? We're going to go to Den of Geek. We're going to go to Den of Geek and we're going to do an article and then I'm going to wrap it up. Okay, we're going to go to comics from Den of Geek and we are going to go down and find something. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to wrap this up with Spider-Man 2099. Yes, Spider-Man 2099. How does he fit into the new Spider-Verse sequel? Okay, the trailer for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1 has gave us plenty of excited things to be excited for. But again, it's also a follow-up of the two big cliffhangers of the first movie. The main part of the trailer focuses on the aftermath from the final scene of the first movie, where Gwen has called out the Miles beyond his reality, and the more exciting part is Miles Morales is flying uncontrollably from the multiverse, almost finding stability until tackled in midair by yet another Spider-Man. Again, we know that Spider-Man 2099. He appeared in post-credits of Into the Spider-Verse, voiced by Oscar Isaac. He's hinted that he may have more to do with the movie plot, but just for a teaser gag referencing an internet meme. So again, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1 trailer, you can check it out on YouTube. Again, it's really interesting. So while he initially looks like a threat, Spider-Man 2099 seems to have more about protecting Miles than anyone else. He also appears to be a leader of whatever adventure the Spider folks are going to embark on. More on that in a sec. So who is Spider-Man 2099? So all we just have to say is that Spider-Man 2099 is actually Miguel O'Hara, who made his first debut in Amazing Spider-Man 365 back in 1992, which followed shortly after by 2099 Spider-Man number 1. Again, he's created by Peter David and Rick Leonardi, and it was the beginning of his Marvel 2099 line of comics. From his initial comic debut, records of Marvel Universe present were very rare and mostly missing. But the gist of it was that the big civil war happened, the age of superheroes ended, societies collapsed, society cleaned itself up again, and then now we're in the future. So that's that in a nutshell for you. So while superheroes are a thing of the past, 2099 society has worshipped Thor as a religious figure, with many believing he would be the make his big return to save everyone. Miguel O'Hara is a scientist working on a corrupt corporation we know as Alchemax, located in Nueva York. Again, it's a fictional place. It's not real. But again, They were so corrupt that his boss has hooked him in a highly addictive drug that only gave him legal access until he kept him from quitting. Miguel O'Hara has also already messed with genetics and failed attempt to become the new Spider-Man. The radioactive DNA that he had merged with his Spider-Man powers has grew talons, fangs, and so on. Again, during his origin, he's ran into essentially a cross between Thor cosplayer and a street prophet, who's believed that to be the second coming of a Spider-Man. This stranger saw a major development, and it was beginning to foretell all the new age of heroes. Heroes from the past will be reintroduced, leading to a prophesied return of Thor. He wasn't wrong though, but over time there was the Fantastic Four 2099, the Hulk 2099, Ghost Rider 2099, Doom 2099, who became President of the United States, Punisher 2099, X-Men 2099, Moon Knight 2099, and so on and so on and so on and so on. But again, when Thor did seemingly return, he's just a guy given Thor's powers and brainwashed to believe he was the real deal. Again, 46 issues of Spider-Man 2099. Later, the 2099 imprint existence, we know in the end is 2099 the Manifest Destiny. The Spider-Man 2099 begets of Thor's return, but is revealed to mean that Miguel O'Hara is worthy to fit and lift Mjolnir. Using the hammer to slow his agent, Miguel spent the next 1,000 years creating a galactic utopia, bringing the fitting end to his story arc. But in his comics, as nothing could be left alone. While his version of Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2099, was brought in Dimension Hopping series Exiles for a time, Marvel's briefly tried to do a completely different 2099 line with new Spider-Man. For the original Miguel, he's kept bouncing back and forth between his era and present, which also has led to the big Spider-Verse comic event. All of this has altered his continually enough so that they could keep doing stories about him without the whole Mjolnir finale giving him a closure. And yes, the multiverse has some cartoony Spider-Ham 2099 named Pigel. Yeah, I know, it's weird. But Spider-Man 2099's role in Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse. The post-credit scene from Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse saw Miguel, Spider-Man 2099, put a special gizmo that allows him to hop to different universes without shortening out his regularly fallen to pieces over time. As an AI hologram, his companion has gave him a gist of the movie plot. He tests out the new tech for the reason we aren't privy to, but this leads to him meeting the 1960 animated Spider-Man, who really doesn't like being pointed at. But then again, still there's more of it. Alchemax, the organization from Spider-Man 2099 origin, is involved in present day. Again in present day. Again, it's possible that the company where Olivia Octavius works, again, multiverse, guys, multiverse, funded by Wilson Fisk, is where Gwen Stacy snoops around undercover. More importantly enough, the spider that bit Miles appears to have something to do with Miguel's reality. The spider is from Alchemax. It's colored like the Spider-Man 2099, and it glitches like it does. Again, everything points to the spider coming from Spider-Man 2099. Again, was it something Miguel did? Possibly, but we don't know. We have to see in this new movie. So it's also possible that when original Spider-Man stuck his head in the super collider, it sucked in the spider to attempt to grab Miguel. Now, according to the movie Internal's logic, the super colliders tended to play around with time, and it comes to dragging people in. Henceforth, Gwen laying low prior to the super collider activation. Speaking of Gwen, check out her new teaser you can see for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. She's also got a little bit of some post-credit scenes as well. Dollars to Donuts say that Miguel's recruited her for some mission in turn. She's also recruiting Miles. So the Miguel and Miles connection. So every now and then, Marvel's able to have an alternate reality successful enough to get our own comic book line. But once this line runs its course, it's interesting to see what people and Marvel hold as valuable. So with Marvel 2099, at the end of the day, guys, Spider-Man 2099 is remotely relevant. Sure, Doom 2099 had moments, and so did Punisher 2099. It's hilarious to see how over the top he was. Alternate futures, guys, alternate futures. Started the Spider-Man's domain and remains Spider-Man's domain. Miles Morales isn't too far off. The Ultimate Marvel imprint lasted a good 15 years and gave some quality stories and runs. The Marvel Cinematic Universe take on Nick Fury and Avengers, noted also Hawkeye, has owes a lot to all the myths and its sequels. But when it comes to time to retire the universe, at least for a while, the 2015 Secret Wars, Marvel's been very blatant about who was valuable or what was valuable. Therefore, that's why Brian Michael Bendis has experimented the killing Ultimate Peter Parker and replacing him with new characters paid off in mainstream Marvel Universe, making a reboot itself so that Miles Morales and his family can exist. Ultimate Reed Richards is also a real thing, but then that's a discussion for later. So again, with Spider-Man 2099 and Ultimate Spider-Man 2.0 being a big survivors of old universe, one has to wonder if Mayday Parker, aka the Spider-Girl, is going to show up in Across the Spider-Verse to fulfill a trifecta, which is born in the What If issue. Spider-Girl jumpstart her own alternate future line MC2 is starting over 100 issues of comics. Who knows? She might be paying off to Peter B. Parker, except that he and Mary Jane should have kids. Again, let me know your guys' thoughts about that. I really think it's interesting, so let me know. Again, this is Daniel Hutchins, your host, and I just figured I'd just do about 30 plus minutes of content so you guys can get a feel of what's going on with the comic book universe. And you make sure you guys have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. I know it's still technically morning, but it's getting closer a little bit to afternoon. But again, I'm just going to try to relax. I don't think I can talk anymore. My mouth is very, very, very dry. My throat is very, very dry. My neck is in pain, and I just feel kind of lightheaded. So I'll try to talk to you guys a little later. Again, I'll see you guys in some later uploads, and I'll catch you guys around later at a later time. I'll make sure you subscribe, and you have a wonderful day. Bye.